Beshalach, when he sent God's trumpet call presence, encounter the living Messiah. Promise made to Joseph. Moshe took the bones of Joseph with him, for Joseph had made the people of Israel swear an oath when he said, God will certainly remember you, and you are to carry my bones up with you, away from here. Exodus chapter 13, verse 19. The Torah portion begins saying that Pharaoh had let the children of Israel leave Egypt. God was guiding them, and he did not guide them to the highway that goes through the land of the Philistine. Rather, God led the children of Israel by a roundabout route through the desert by the Sea of Surf. And the children of Israel went up from the land of Egypt fully armed. The Talmud says that while the rest of the people busied themselves with looting the Egyptians, Moshe busied himself with retrieving Joseph's bones. For Joseph made the people of Israel swear an oath when he said, God will certainly remember you, and you are to carry my bones up with you, away from here. Moshe represents both Messiah, son of David, and Messiah, son of Joseph. The words Moshe took the bones of Joseph suggest that Moshe wanted to fulfill the roles of both Messiah in his day and bring about the final redemption. As children of Israel left Egypt after the first Passover, they left Joseph's empty tomb behind them. Empty tomb of Joseph represented Israel's redemption from Egypt. For Joseph's empty tomb represented Israel's redemption from Egypt. Joseph prophesied that Adonai would bring children of Israel up from Egypt. He made them promise to bring his bones with them. Joseph's empty tomb signified that the promise of redemption had occurred. Joseph's empty tomb portends Messiah's empty tomb. 1400 years after Moshe took Joseph's remains from the tomb, Yeshua HaMashiach left behind an empty tomb as well. The tomb he was laid belonged to a man named Joseph. Joseph's bones traveled with the children of Israel throughout their wandering in the wilderness and 40 years, and they then into the land of Canaan. Joshua chapter 24 verse 32 tells us that children of Israel buried the bones of Joseph which they brought up from Egypt at Shechem, in the piece of ground which Jacob had bought from the sons of Hamor, the father of Shechem, for 100 pieces of money. And they became the inheritance of Joseph's sons. Promise made to Joseph. Throughout their journey in the wilderness, the children of Israel carried two chests. One carried a dead man's bones, and the other carried the divine presence of God, the source of all life. All those years that the sons of Israel traveled in the wilderness, those two boxes, one box of the dead, Joseph's coffin, and the other of the dwelling presence, the Ark of the Covenant, proceeded side by side. Those passing by used to ask, what is the nature of those two boxes? They were told one is of the dead and the other is of the dwelling presence of God. They asked, is it appropriate for the dead to travel with the dwelling presence of God? And they were told, this one, Joseph, fulfilled all that is written in the other. The death of Messiah, son of Joseph, is a source of life because he fulfilled the commandments. He lived a sinless life. His death goes before Israel into the presence of God. The meal of the Messiah. Tradition says that the children of Israel escaped through the Red Sea on the 7th day of Passover. First day of Passover and seventh day of Passover are high Sabbath. Yom Tov. The first day of the festival commemorates three things: the anniversary of the last plague, the Passover deliverance, and the Exodus from Egypt. The 7th day commemorates two things: the anniversary of the final victory over Pharaoh and his armies and at the Red Sea. The Torah reading for the last day of Passover includes Exodus chapter 14 and 15. According to Hasidic Judaism, the festive meal on the last day of Passover is called the meal of Messiah. Hasidim set apart this day to gather to sing spiritual songs about Messiah and study prophecies about his coming. They connect the event with the miracle of the crossing of the Red Sea. They believe that the spiritual revelation of the Messiah permeates this meal. The two festive meals of Passover also illustrate the two-phase nature of the Messianic redemption. On the first day of Passover, we conduct the Seder meal and remember the Exodus from Egypt and Yeshua HaMashiach's last Seder with his disciples. We remember that he told his disciples to anticipate a Seder in the future kingdom, at which he will eat again the Passover and take the cup of the fruit of the vine with them. The festival meal of the 7th day of Passover rehearses the banquet of Messiah. Soon Messiah will return and complete the redemption which he began at the cross. His disciples will sit with him at the table of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.